Throughout the history of my life, I have accomplished, you think I haven't accomplished anything, a lot of people, all my haters that break my balls. But in reality, I have accomplished things that most people haven't. Okay? Like, I'll give you, you want to hear a few examples? Okay. When I was 21 years old, everybody laughed at me. I was telling them, you know something, I want to be the boss of my own company. I want to have an office at the most prestigious building in New York City, which I will always consider the Empire State Building. Okay, I'm a big fan of King Kong, right? How we climbed that building. So anyway, wow. Anyway, people told me I was nuts. It's never gonna happen. Okay, blah blah blah. I made my money from my sales jobs that I was working. I was working on Wall Street when I was young, when I was 19. But anyway, by the time I was around 21, I had enough money. I opened an office. It was the Empire State Building. Amazing Ideas. That was the name of the company. It was on the 40th floor. And I was surrounded by some of the most successful lawyers. What's that guy who's on Shark Tank? I think, can't think of his name, but, Fubu. They were right next door to me. They were in the next office next to me. Okay, so people couldn't understand. I was like 21 years old. The guy thought I was like, like my father was like friggin' like Donald Trump. So he's like, how are you here right now? How are you in Empire State Building? 21 years old. I was doing it. I've been working my whole life as a lawyer to get here. So I did it. All right. I used to tell my friends that I was going to buy a Mercedes. And they all laughed at me. I bought a Mercedes. I had a beautiful brand new Mercedes when I got married. AMG package, E500, gorgeous car. Okay. I told my friends, I told my family, I said, I'm going to get married. I said, and I'm going to buy a house that has a jacuzzi, that has an in-ground pool, and everybody laughed at me. It's never going to happen. Once again, I did that. I bought. It was in Jackson, New Jersey. I think it was Nighthawk Lane. I can't think of the number. Maybe 366 or I forget the number. Anyway, if you looked it up, my name in Jackson, New Jersey, it was Nighthawk Lane. I bought a house with it had a size of a football field, backyard. I had a big in-ground swimming pool, just like I have now in my current house that I own. So the thing is, people have always underestimated me. You all make fun of that thing with the SEC, where I was trying to own a casino, remember? You don't understand how close I came. You don't understand. I was dealing with one of the richest men, if not the richest man in Florida. Like, this guy was like the Donald Trump of Florida. Okay, and this guy was backing me. He was going to put up $50 million. I was going to get 25% of a casino. It was going to be in St. Croix. And you have no idea how close I came. Like, you don't understand. We had the land. We had 110 acres. I had the option. It was beachfront property, zoned for hotel casino development. I had an investor such as this gentleman. I can't mention his name without his consent. And he was going to put up $50 million. And it was like a stupid thing. I was young. I mentioned it to a few investors, to see if they wanted to join us and get involved, get an equity position in the project. And one of the investors was someone that was in Pennsylvania who contacted the SEC. And, the SEC sent me a cease and desist order. That's all. It's just, they're like, you're not a broker dealer. There's all types of things you have to fill out when you're soliciting some sort of an investment. I didn't know this. I was young at the time. I was young, dumb, full of CUM anyway. I was a youth. My cousin Vinny. I was just a youth. I didn't know what I was doing. So whatever. We complied with the cease and desist order. There was no fines. Nothing illegal happened there, but you guys keep mentioning it. What you really should be doing is giving me credit that I had the balls, the diamond balls of steel, that I had an option on 110. Think about this: 110 acres. It was all oceanfront. Okay, it was zoned for casino hotel development. Let me tell you something. That 1 year of my life, I lived like a millionaire. Honestly, possibly a billionaire. I mean, let me just tell you, we were on those corporate jets, those G3s, those G4s. This was his personal jet, the gentleman in Florida I was working with. And I mean, I'm drinking Dom Perignon. He got me. We were at the Ritz Carlton because, St. Croix is right next to San Juan, Puerto Rico. So we first stopped at San Juan. I was at the Ritz Carlton in San Juan. I literally had a whole floor that was for me. That was my suite. It was like a whole floor. It was like sick. I had a friggin' pool inside my room. There was a pool, a private pool in my room. It's the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. I went downstairs to the casino in the Ritz Carlton in the San Juan, San Juan, Puerto Rico. They had a market set up for me. You understand? They said, "Listen, this has been taken care of for you. Here's 50,000." They said, "Go have fun. Hey, go gamble, do whatever you want." Of course, even then, I was eating $500 dinners even back then. That hasn't changed. But that year of my life was amazing. Okay, it didn't work out. Granted, that he ended up backing out of the deal. His lawyers talked him out of it. They said stick with Florida. St. Croix is really not developed yet as a tourist destination, and that's it. No harm, no foul. But just the fact that I did that, okay, and I lived like a millionaire for a year. Corporate jets, $50,000 markets, $500 dinners. Forget about it. What are you talking about? I lived like a king. I lived like a king. So, let me tell you another story, okay? If Donald Trump is hearing this video, he could confirm it. I called up the Trump organization. I'm out of my mind. I'm a nut. So I happen to know a very, very successful real estate broker in Manhattan who was a very good friend of mine. And he introduced me, again, I can't mention names without consent. I can't do it. He introduced me to one of Manhattan's largest real estate developers. Like, I was in the guy's office. And this guy, by the way, was very good friends with Donald Trump. And, I told him I was interested in buying the Trump building, which was, I believe, what is it? Is it 40 Wall Street? I can't remember the address. I think it's 40 Wall Street. The Trump building. Donald Trump had it up for sale. Now, he called up this big, huge real estate developer who personally knew Donald Trump and vouched for me because, the person who was my very good friend was good friends with him. And he was one of New York City's most largest, prestigious brokers. Apefather's got connections. Apefather knows people. So anyway, I know you all think it's bullshit, but it's not. This is 100% on God. On God, the truth. On God. I don't lie. So, because this big real estate developer called, the Trump organization, I think there was a guy, Scott Butera, I think that was his name that we were dealing with, who was in the Trump organization, who was handling that deal. They were willing to give me a shot. They were willing to. We never went forward with the option, but they were pretty much ready to give me the option on the property to buy it. Now I called up, Gerber, the baby food company. They have a financial division. It's called Triumph Financing, and not Triumph. Anyway, I called them up. I explained that I'm in the process of buying the Trump building on 40 Wall Street, and had very good credit, everything great. They said, look, we could. Donald Trump was asking, for the highest offer, so I offered $400 million for the building. I offered. Triumph Financing, which is the subsidiary of Gerber, agreed. They actually gave me a letter of intent to loan me $300 million. That's it. I had the loan. I was approved. Done. Just based on the real estate value. Now, I had to come up with $100 million. And that's when I started running into problems. It's like, I tried to mention it to people. I tried my best, but I couldn't do it. I had some interested people, though. I had some people who wanted to get involved, but ultimately, but here's the thing. Just the fact that, now, before I continue, let me say this. In one of Donald Trump's books, I think it's How to Get Rich. I believe that was the name of the book. He mentions that he got an offer. He said for 40 Wall Street for 400 million. He mentions it's and it's actually in his book. He says he got an offer for $400 million, and he was like very proud of that because he was like that was a high offer. He was referring to the Apefather. That was me. I was the person who made that offer. Just want to let everybody know that. Now, granted, the deal did not go through. I was dealing with the biggest heavyweights in Manhattan, and they were all talking with me and dealing with me. And same thing when I was doing that casino deal. I was dealing with like the largest real estate developer in Florida. Like literally. Like this dude had so much money, it was sick, man. He had a garage, right? That had every luxury car that you could imagine. The guy was worth like $400 million. The guy, it's so funny. I was with him, right? He goes, Richie, what do you want to take out? He goes, I'm taking you to lunch. He goes, I'm taking you to lunch. He goes, pick a car. So I picked, yeah, like a Bentley. It was like sick, man. He took me out. So when we had this really expensive lunch, he throws out the American Express Black Card. Like, do you understand what that is? Like, if you have the American Express Black Card, that means that you have a card that is unlimited. Do you understand? Like, in other words, like you could go right now and you could buy anything. You could buy a friggin', a yacht that's $400 million. You could throw down the black card and they'll approve it. American Express, you could buy anything. You could buy, you could buy Donald Trump's jet. You know what I mean, with the black card. So I've never seen one of those before in my life. I was so impressed. I was just like, when he pulled out that black card, he goes, and even the waiter, it was great. The waiter, when he paid the bill, the waiter looked at me and looked at him, and he went like this. He went, nice. The black card is sick, man. The American Express. You got to be a player to have that card. But the reason I'm making this video, don't underestimate the Apefather. I will make 1 million videos. I will upload 1 million videos by December 20th. And all these people who are saying they want to bet me, it's fine. Let's do it, man. Here's the bet. You're all going to be naked, listen to me, with signs on you in Harlem that says, I hate all N-words. Now, again, this is nothing racial. I'm not prejudiced. This was in the movie Die Hard with a Vengeance with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. This is the beginning of the movie. Bruce Willis had to sign in him because of the crazy terrorist that threatened he was going to, blow up a building. It could have been a school. So he forced Bruce Willis to do this against his will. He went into Harlem, broad daylight. And you're going to have to do that too. It's going to have to be broad daylight. And you have to be completely naked. So I'm reading all the emails, all the people who want the bet. You got it. And if I lose, I'll do it. You understand? I'll do it if I lose. I will go to Harlem naked, completely naked, and I'll have a sign on me that says, I hate all N-words. Again, I don't want to say that terrible, disgusting, racist word because I am not a racist. But again, this was portrayed in the movie Die Hard with a Vengeance with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. If you have not seen it, you need to watch that movie like as soon as possible. Greatest movie ever made. So funny, man. I'll just tell you one part, right? They're in the car. Bruce Willis, they're in the taxi cab, right? Because, like, what happened was Samuel L. Jackson actually rescued him for all these, like, gangster thugs because they saw the sign that says, Bruce Willis had the sign on him, I hate all N-words. So, what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson says, listen, act like you're from Bellevue. Act like you just escaped, right? So one of these, like, gangster thugs, they were, like, sitting on the steps of a building. What the F? Like, because they saw the sign. So they threw like a knife and it went right into Bruce Willis on that sign. They were hitting him off the head with a basketball. It's great, right? So basically Zeus, I'm killing it already. I got to stop. Samuel L. Jackson, I already ruined the story, but it's okay. Samuel L. Jackson pulls out like a gun and he goes, I don't want to do this. Step back. He was talking to all the, those gangster thugs that were just about to kill Bruce Willis because of that sign that he has on. I hate all N-words. So anyway, they wind up robbing a taxi cab. They get in. The gangster thugs were shooting at them. It was crazy. It was nuts. So what happened was Bruce Willis, right? So, he was all messed up. I think one of them cracked him over the head with a friggin' Old English beer, bottle. So Bruce Willis is bleeding and he's all messed up. He goes, thanks, man. Thanks, Jesus. He kept calling him. Thanks, Jesus. So Samuel L. Jackson says, Why do you call me Jesus? Do I look Puerto Rican to you? My name is Zeus. He goes, but the guy over there said, hey, Zeus. No, no, no. He said, hey, meaning like hello. Hey, Zeus. My name is Zeus. And then Bruce was like, Zeus? Zeus! Mount Olympus! I'll stick a thunderbolt up your ass, mother effer. Zeus, got it? And Bruce was like, yeah, got it. Greatest movie. So effing funny, man. But anyway, I'll take your bets. But you know what? I bet all of you when I win, you will not honor your bet. You will not show up to Harlem when I tell you to show up. You will not be naked, and you will not be wearing the sign. You know, that's it. And you got to pay for the sign. Sorry. That's it. That's part of the bet. I'll pay for my sign if I lose. You got to pay for a big sign that says, I hate all N-word, the very terrible word. Okay? I'll take all your bets. All of them. December 20th. 1 million videos uploaded.